Millions of Americans are good without God. A group of atheists are going straight to church with that message, and Christians aren't listening. Fox 4's Brandon Todd is live in Bedford to explain this one. Brandon.
Yeah, Natalie, this is one of those discussions that's almost guaranteed to have passionate viewpoints. So they set a few ground rules before the meeting started, and I'll get to those here in just a second in the story. But one of them is no videotaping the meeting. They were flexible on that rule tonight for us to allow us to bring you this story. Meanwhile, we agreed that we would not record any of the actual conversations in the meeting amongst the group. And with that settled, let the God debate begin.
As a Christian, I believe we ought to lead the way in civil dialogue.
In the sanctuary of First Baptist Church in Bedford, Christians and atheists sat across from each other and calmly debated the existence of God.
And of course, at the heart of our faith is this, boy, we need to engage people in conversation.
At least from the atheist side, I always feel people don't know us very well and they don't understand how we do things.
Going on the premise that you can't talk someone out of their religious beliefs in 2 hours, each group began with some basic topics. Why do you believe what you believe? And what about the other point of view do you reject?
I'm always willing to listen. You might come across something new tonight. You never know. And I might bring something new to someone.
Since these two groups are on polar opposite sides of the religious fence, and since historically debates tend to always get heated, case in point, those atheist signs on Fort Worth T buses back in December that sparked boycotts and protests, this meeting began with a list of hard and fast ground rules. Number 1, no yelling and screaming for any reason.
I mean, I could name people on both sides of this topic, atheists and Christians alike, who I think are just, their rhetoric is offensive to me.
Also, no one is allowed to try and convert or deconvert someone else. And based on how passionately each feel about his or her beliefs, it may prove to be the most challenging rule of all.
It's hard to know exactly what that rule means. I mean, we're talking about Christianity and atheism.
I'll tell them what I believe, I'll listen to what they believe, and we'll walk away, hopefully as friends at the end of the night.
All right, so Brandon, you mentioned just a moment ago we weren't allowed to record that session. What was it exactly that they didn't want us to hear?
Well, the rules started when they started this meeting. The atheists wanted to record the session, and the Christian pastor here said, well, that's okay, we've got a camera, we can record it for you. And they said, no, we want to record it. And since there wasn't really a good trust relationship built up there with that issue, they just decided to make the ground rule no videotaping whatsoever.
Okay, so unfortunately we lost out there because of the trust issue. Now, you mentioned the Fort Worth T and the signs. Is that how this whole meeting came about, as a result of what was this previous controversy with the buses?
Yeah, I thought that too as soon as I started to make some calls on this story, but it turns out what started it was this sign right back behind me. In Thanksgiving time, they had a message up there that said, what are atheists thankful for? Well, there was an atheist that was upset about that, emailed the pastor, they started talking, they invited their friends, and now they've got this meeting tonight.
All right, so at least a dialogue. All right, Brandon Todd, live in Bedford tonight. Thank you.